Welcome to episode 665, MarcLasry, 10 Lessons. This is an outline of episode 665, lesson 1 to lesson 5. This is an outline of episode 665, lesson 6 to lesson 10. Lesson 1, how to make money in distressed debt through ignorance and impatience.
There was no exchange, so you would contact individual creditors and you would negotiate with everybody and you'd buy claims one by one. And, that's sort of how we made a lot of money back then. Really, the overriding concern was people didn't understand bankruptcies, so they didn't want to be involved. So let's say we'll pay 75 cents, and you would contact people and say, well, look, the plan's got to get approved, you're going to have this, you need that. I'll give you cash today of 30 cents, or I'll give you cash today of 40 cents. And people would rather have that. They didn't want to wait the 6 months or a year for everything to work itself out.
Lesson 2, division of labor with sister Sonia. In 1995, MarcLasry and Sonia co-founded Avenue Capital Group with $7 million funded by family and friends.
We both went to the same college. We went to different law schools. When I started, she came in-house as our in-house lawyer. Right? We were just buying trade claims. And then as the business grew, she started focusing on the operations of the business, the legal side of the business, the compliance side. So it became a great partnership. I could do the investing, and Sonia could manage everything else. So it turned out to be a great partnership because she had no interest in doing what I wanted to do, and I had no interest in doing what she wanted to do. Okay. And I think that's why it works.
Lesson 3, he almost became a UPS truck driver. In the end, he listened to his Jewish mother and went to NYU Law School. Lesson 4, accidental knowledge, how he learned bankruptcy laws. In law school, he got a job with a district judge and learned bankruptcy law. Here's a picture of the judge. Lesson 5, 32 years of specialization in bankruptcy.
MarcLasry, and I run a company called Avenue Capital. Avenue Capital invests in special situations, distressed debt. Mainly, we try to buy debt at a discount to try to effectuate change in companies that are in trouble. So I've been doing this for close to 30 years.
Lesson 6, in timing, you don't want to be right and too early.
About sort of 9 years ago, we made a strategic decision to go to Asia. But we thought over time we would be correct. So strategically, at the time, I think people thought we were too early. And it turned out that we were right. We did it right after the Asian crisis, and I think people would have said you needed to wait. I think a lot of sort of strategic decisions, do you want to just focus on distress? I think for us, we made a big decision that we thought things were going to get worse, I think as we talked earlier, in 2006. We were ultimately right, but we were too early.
Lesson 7, there are two kinds of smart people, the book smart and the street smart. You want a mix of both.
Be able to find people who have street smarts. So if you can find a mixture of both, and where you've got individuals who have a high level of book smarts and a high level of street smarts, I think that's actually unique. Because what you mostly find out there is people who are either just very smart on the book side, and then you find people who are just very street smart. And it's the mixture or the combination of those two talents that I think separates, at least for us, those are the individuals we're trying to find.
Lesson 8. The Milwaukee Bucks was a distressed NBA basketball team. He bought the NBA team in 2016. He almost tripled his investment in 3 years.
May have the worst record in all of the NBA this season, but that didn't stop a pair of Wall Street billionaires from shelling out $550 million to buy the team.
Because MarcLasry, big hedge fund guy, friends with President Clinton, former President Clinton, Wes Edens, another private equity guy, they both dabble a lot in distressed debt and around bankruptcy. So They just bought the team with the worst record in the NBA, and Forbes says it's the least valuable team in the NBA. So,
Lesson 9, how to convince doubters at every level of growth of your business.
I think, when I look back on it, the hardest part each time, and each time you hit a certain level, was convincing someone that you could handle it. That, yes, there was only 10 employees, but that's fine. We could do it. And when you had 25, you were competing against firms that had 100 people.
Lesson 10, don't work for peanuts. First investment job, he got $10,000 bonus for $25 million profit. He quit.
I did that for about a year. I made him $25 million my first year. That's when $25 million was huge amounts of money, so big. And at the end of the year, he gave me, you get your bonus. So what do you think you would ask as a bonus? I thought, oh, half of 1%, 1%, that would be great. And I got $10,000. That was my bonus. And that's when I decided it was time to leave.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and leave your questions and comments below. Wishing everyone peace and prosperity.